weather today, and it's drizzling ever so slightly. Let's see if it stops. Well, a lot of interesting stuff happened today. I actually got those parts for the Mavic Pro finally. Must have been like half a year? Actually, I'm just thinking, I probably forgot how to do all that stuff now for the gimbal. Should I open it up? Because I'm still testing out the Mini 2 and all that. But in terms of testing the Mini 2, actually something happened today where I potentially would have had to fly within a controlled airspace and all that. And with things like those geofencing, you'd have to get it unlocked. But then I found out apparently when I was testing out this Mini 2 just to see if the unlocking and stuff works, apparently you can't, because it actually wasn't available in any of the options, like the drone's not listed. So it reminds me of what happened with the original Mini when it first came out. So I actually emailed them to get clarification, because normally I email this email address if I want to unlock like the red zones for the bigger drones as well. Because usually they request for things, let's see your permission for Nav Canada and all that. Yeah, so this one here says, apparently, it says here, Dear Alan, please accept my sincere apology for the inconvenience caused. DJI Mini 2 is unlockable. Please kindly select the Mavic Mini at present. Thanks for your feedback. This issue has been reported to the R&D department for further assistance. Please kindly pay attention to the update on the website. Your kind understanding will be highly appreciated. So based on what they wrote here, it's okay, sorry, you can't unlock this drone at the moment, so just go back and use like the Mini 1 or something like that. I actually was reading a bit online on some retail sites and people were leaving reviews saying they bought the drone and they can't launch it just because of things like the geofencing. Well, let's see if they correct this soon. That's one of the negatives still, unfortunately, for the DJI drones is the geofencing. You could have all the permission and authorization, but then this thing just stops you from doing so until they correct it. Now the reason why I was looking into unlocking this potentially is because today some people contacted me where in Vancouver someone went missing and there's a lot of people, family members and all that were trying to find the person. I saw this email I got, it says drone inquiring for missing person. So apparently they contacted me because I guess I apparently have a reputation of being the drone guy with a thermal camera. And they were saying how their friends and families, volunteers, and the Vancouver Police Department are searching for the missing person. And it came to their attention that I was basically someone with a drone. I have like a license so I can fly around the area and all that. And would I be able to help them to find this missing person? It shows you how regular people are actually thinking of drone nowadays to enable them to do things like their search and rescue stuff a lot quicker. And this is actually the reason why I was looking to unlock the drone, because in the area it is technically a restricted airspace, and so this was my way to ensure ahead of time, okay, this drone's actually gonna take off, I get all the approvals and stuff like that. So here's the interesting part, because they said there were things like police also looking for the person. I said basically, okay, no problem. They offered to pay me and all that, but to me it's like, no, I'll do it for free. You're trying to help someone. And my only request was, if there's police and stuff involved, this is a search and rescue, then for me as the flyer, because I know what the hysteria and stuff are like for a lot of people, just give me reassurance that I can fly around here, look for the person. If anyone has some kind of freak out, like, oh my god, what's this drone here, it's spying on me, then the police officers, for example, would be there to reassure them, no, this guy's part of our operation, don't worry about it. Other than that, I should be able to fly it wherever I wish, so to speak, obviously, within reason, being safe, etc, etc. To me, it should be pretty straightforward, correct? There'll be no difference really when you think about it. It's almost like, say there's a car accident or something like that, and if for some reason these police officers, they want someone to use a drone to tape everything as, I guess you could say, evidence or whatever, or to have a better view, then all I'm requesting is, okay, I'm gonna be here on the road or whatever, launching this thing here, looking down, you just give me reassurance that if some guy in the background is like, what, this drone's spying on me, again, you'll just be there to say, no, he's part of our operation here. So they got back to me, and apparently I guess they talked to police, and there was so much misinformation here, which made me think, wow, this is kind of bad, I guess, overall, when you think about it. It's kind of a failure with that event as well yesterday with Transport Canada and all that. Because apparently, I guess the police and stuff, they got back to them about, hey, there's this guy that's willing to fly the drone here. Are you guys willing to accommodate him to do that? But they apparently, I guess, told him, we received news that drone usage is prohibited in residential areas and within 9 kilometers of any active heliports and airports. Now, as you guys know, that's completely inaccurate. That's like way back in interim law days, so to speak, where it was like 9 kilometers away from heliports and airports and all that, away from buildings, animals. So it just makes you think how the mass majority of people, in this case, is kind of worrisome, where if the VPD aren't even aware of what the regulations are with drones? So with that, I guess they basically decided to go off and do their search. I did reply to the email though, telling them the person they spoke to is completely misinformed. That's not what the regulations are currently, especially with a person like myself with the advanced license. Technically, as long as I get permission from the airspace and all that stuff, then it should be okay, especially in this situation. You're not flying, for example, like what, 100 meters or something like that. It's like what, 50 meters maybe in the air. But it makes you think, because I've said it many times, with all this fear-mongering, stuff like Mr. Nightmare scenario saying what keeps them awake at night is a drone crashing into an airplane, this is actually a real encounter on how more people can use the tech in a good way, and over-the-top regulations and all that, you're basically stopping things from, for example, lives potentially being saved. How do you stay awake at night, honestly, knowing that's what it's doing? Think about it too, with that topic yesterday of lobbyists, for example, encouraging things like, oh, recreational flyers are so dangerous, restrict them like nuts or whatever, immediately. I guess I'm a case example here. Recreational person, flew it in fields, I'm only doing it for fun, capturing videos and all that, but from doing it every single day, I built up the skill. And look at this. This is a clear example how even a person like me can contribute in a great way. I could potentially save someone's life that way. How is it with examples like this, all those people who drone police people like nuts, encourage over-the-top regulations that don't even relate to safety at all? How do you guys sleep at night, knowing, again, there's so many examples like here, people could use the tech in a good way in this fashion. It actually wasn't raining before. Funny enough, if the VPU were actually knowledgeable about the drone laws and stuff, I could have helped them as well. Time is of the essence during times like that, huh? Kind of makes you think how drone misinformation can make things dangerous in multiple ways. I guess one, most people would know, drone flyers, if people always think drones and stuff, they're spying on them and all that, it usually creates a lot of hostility, sometimes physical altercations. That's not good, even though technically it's like what, a wide angle lens? And two, people could be completely misinformed about the laws and all that, and someone could be using it in a legitimate way to save someone's life. So people need to be educated about it. It's kind of sad if you think about it too. People like Transport Canada could learn from the real, I guess you could say, quote, experts, those of us who actually use this every single day. We know how it's like in reality, but instead they choose not to. Now it's kind of disappointing because in this case, it's not about capturing stuff for fun. It is actually about saving lives, and I think that's important to pay attention. Well, looks like the rain's not stopping. Huh, I guess it's time for the archive. Alright, see you guys later.